Hello guys, this is your boy Sweet Sauce with another video. I want to get into my PvE build that I use every day. Let's start off with skills. We're using Fist of Thunder because the lightning flex is too good. We're using Mystic Allies for the boss killing. We're using Shield of Zen. I'll explain that here in a minute. Why we're using Shield of Zen. We're using Exploding Palm and Seven-Sided Strike. I'm using Exploding Palm and Seven-Sided Strike. They work really well together. Let's get into the gear on the right side. So we're using Open Mind with Berserker Eye. Increased Resonant. Increases all damage you deal by 13%. Increases critical hit chance by 2%. Also increases all damage you take by 5%. Taking 5% more damage, but you're dishing out way more damage. And it increases chance to find magic items by 5%. And we're using the Open Mind for the Mystic Allies damage increased by 10%. For the chest piece, we're using Enlightenment's Blessing, and we're using Everlast Torment for the Agony, dealing 15% base damage plus 122 every second for 6 seconds. Increases your attack speed by 3%. Each enemy cannot be affected by this more often than 20 seconds. Also increases the chance to find magic items by 5%. We're using this for Daring Shield of Zen. Your movement speed is increased by 25%, and you can move unhindered through enemies. So, what that means is if I'm popping Shield of Zen, I can move right through the enemies without being stuck. Really nice. I really enjoy it. We're using Discipline's Weight with Power Command. So, Power Command uh, alters states every 9 seconds. When it activates power, your primary attack damage is increased by 10.5%. Command, it activates command proc, increases all other skill damage by 10.5%. Each time it alternates, you have a 7.5% chance to dispel a harmful effect from yourself. And we're using this for seven-sided strike damage increased by 10%. We're using the rhythm. Now people will be like, oh, Sauce, why are you using the rhythm? Well, I'll tell you why. We're using this with Blessing of the Worthy. When you take damage, you have a 20% chance to unleash Retribution, which is basically an explosion, and it can crit, and it can deal damage, like a lot of damage. But dealing damage equal to 14% of your maximum life cannot occur more often than 20 seconds. And we're using this for Exploding Palm. Explosion damage increased by 30%, but Exploding Palm no longer deals initial damage. So it means when you're killing them, like when they're close to the 5% or 5-10% HP, Exploding Palm explosion damage will be increased by 30% to all nearby enemies, which is really good for trash killing. We're using Dragon's Indignation with Bottled Hope, and this is the reason why I'm using Shield of Zen, because of the fact that Bottled Hope, using a skill, grant a buff, increases the target's damage done and movement speed by 10.50% for 6 seconds. Cannot occur more often than every 20 seconds. So every 20 seconds, I'm getting a 6-second buff, and it's so good. And we're using this so Seven-Sided Strike now also continuously burns enemies. So it's just a constant tick while you're. So you can pop Exploding Palm, Seven-Sided Strike, and then just start fisting them to death with your primary skill, and then they're just constantly taking that seven-sided strike damage, plus you're dealing damage to them afterward. And you can also time it with the Shield of Zen, since Bottled Hope gives you 10.50% more damage done and movement speed. We're using Reaching Rebuke with Bloodsoaked Jade. Uh, so increase all damage you deal by up to 10.5%, and your movement speed by 10%. Less damage bonus the lower your life to a minimum of 5.25. This gem is the best gem in the game. I won't even stress enough. It's too good to toss up. Um, so we're using it for the crushing palm. Exploding palm now launches you at a location and strikes the area with a giant palm as you land, damaging all nearby enemies, but its cooldown is increased. You already get 2 charges, so I mean, you don't really need anything. It's pretty simple, but I don't rock the maximum charge helm. I'd rather have Mystic Ally damage, so my Mystic Allies melt bosses faster. And I don't use the Exploding Palm chest piece, so when you reuse 7-sided strike, it automatically activates the Exploding Palm. You don't really need that. I don't find them too useful that much anymore. But that's pretty much my legendary setup. For my step pieces, I'm using Isitars, and there's a big reason why I'm using Isitars. So each time you defeat an enemy, you gain 30% increased movement speed for 2 seconds, which is really nice. Movement speed ups the time of how fast you can clear dungeons, how fast quest, how fast can you bounties, etc. Movement speed is key for monk. Movement speed and attack speed and crit hit chance. Those are the 3 things you need to be gearing for. So the 4-piece set, damage dealt increased by 2.5% for every 5% increase in your movement speed, up to a maximum damage increase of 25%. You can get a maximum damage increase of 25% every 2 seconds. For 2 seconds. And you can go for the neck, the hands, the belt, boots. And another thing is I use life and potency gems in my amulet. I'm using damage in my ring, using resistance in my other ring that had a yellow socket instead of red socket. I'm using resistance in my gloves, using damage in my belt, and I'm using armor penetration in my boots because damage over life is key, man. There's no reason to make yourself tanky. In this game, you need to deal out damage as fast as possible. But so whenever you're popping Shield as Zen, you look up here in the top left, Bottled Hope, 10.5%. Damage and movement speed increased by 2.5. Primary attack damage increased by 10.50. And then it changes to command skill damage increased by 10.5. So, and Shield of Zen comes off cooldown every 12 seconds. So, you can Exploding Palm, 7-sided strike. You pop your Mystic Allies for boss killing. But for trash killing, you can use Exploding Palm. As you can see, Exploding Palm has such a low CD, you don't need the extra charge. If you're doing that, you're just trying to be lazy. You can use something else for more DPS output. But you can use Shield of Zen. It gives you 25% increased movement speed because you chest piece. It's just really nice, guys. I mean, I really enjoy this build. I use it all the time. This is like my main build. I can even use it in PvP if I wanted to, because Mystic Allies are the best. Mystic Allies is the best skill you guys can use as a actual skill in the game. Like Mystic Allies with 7-sided strike and Exploding Palm, I'm annihilating people in PvP as well. Plus, I'm using Shield of Zen for damage boost, and I'm using it for movement speed boost. But if you want to go PvP, I suggest change Isitars out probably for Festering Baron's pack if you don't want to farm for the Windloft Perfection. So for the PvP side, you're going to just use Festering. So increase duration of your abilities that cause loss of control by 30%. Increase the damage done from all sources by 15% to enemies suffering under your loss of control effect. So you're getting 15% damage increase, and you're getting 30% more duration on your CC. So, I mean, it's really nice, but Windloft Protection is really bad. I really want to get my 4-piece set down to this. 1,000 wins, increasing your movement speed by 15%. 1,000 wins deactivates for 3 seconds, take damage. And then the 4-piece, you increase your damage done by 20% while 1,000 wins is active. So, if I don't take damage, then I get increased damage done by 20%. A big boost in damage. And then your 6-piece stat, you gain a shield that makes you immune to damage 5 times while 1,000 wins is active. Cannot gain this shield more often than once every seconds. So that means every 40 seconds, I'm getting a 6-second shield immunity, which I'm getting, I can get hit 5 times and then lose my 1,000 wins buff. So, I mean, it's really nice to try to get that 6 set of win loss protection. I think that's best set item for this build, in my opinion. Isatar is not a PvP build, but if you wanted to use it for PvP, you can. It works really well in PvP. I've been playing around with it for a long time. But that's it for the video, man. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.